Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna fold the AC system on my Santa Fe because I had a leak and I have to change a couple of parts on my car, and I want to show you the correct way to fold your system. Those systems should be full at the right spec, because if it's too low you're gonna have problem, and if it's too high you're gonna have problem too. And the DY method with the can is not always easy because you don't know how much exactly ounce of Freon you put on the stem. So check it out. The first thing you want to get to do this job is to buy this kind of gauge. They are pretty cheap on Amazon. It's around 30 bucks. I'm gonna put the link inside of the description. So now that you got your set, there's two valves. The blue one is for the low side and the red one is for the high side. So you want to close the both sides. So there's a blue valve for the low side and the red one is for the high side, because the compressor take the gas, the Freon is in a liquid state, and compress it to a gas. And when the car doesn't run, you're gonna have a static pressure. What that means, there's no low pressure and high pressure. The both side of the system communicate, so you're gonna have the same pressure. So we're gonna see if my system is empty or not. And to do that, you cannot miss this one, the blue connector and the red connector. The red is for the high, the blue for the low, and right there the cap with the H, this is the high side. So make sure the valves are closed, and you just want to connect. This is a quick connect. You just have to pull on that, and you cannot miss this step because the connector is not the same size at the low port and the high port. So you're gonna plug the red one, and now I missed the cap, but just right there, this is the low side. So I'm gonna connect this hose to the low side, okay? And now, as you see, my system is pretty empty. I'm gonna switch the yellow line with the red one because the yellow leak. So this is the same hose, it's just the color. So now I plug the blue line on the low port. My both valves are closed. The red one should be yellow, but like I said before, it's because it's broke. And this is a vacuum pump that you can buy for really cheap on Amazon or eBay. And I'm gonna start the I'm gonna start the pump. So you should see a vacuum raise just right there. So I'm gonna open the valve just like this. So the blue valve let communicate the middle and this side of the manifold gauge. So now I'm gonna let it run for 30 minutes to make sure there is no moisture at all in the system. And after that, I'm gonna fill back the system with those kind of Freon. So after 30 minutes, I stop the compressor, the vacuum, sorry, and I wait to see if I close this valve, and I wait to see if my pressure drops, and it seems to be good. So now I'm ready to fill. So I close this valve and I'm gonna disconnect this pipe from the vacuum pump. So what I do, I buy those cheap balance. So I buy those two cans. One is empty and one is full. So it weighs somewhere around 300 grams with this valve on the can, and empty it weighs somewhere around 150 grams. So I make a little math, and I know now that each ounce of Freon that we want, so as you see, this can equivalent to 17 ounces of air 134A. So I know now that each ounce of air 134A weighs 8.8 grams. So maybe, and I measure it with 2 brand of cans, and that fits. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw all this can. So this is 17 ounce and this system needs 21. So I'm gonna throw the can, and now this valve you have to unscrew it just like this, because you don't want to purse the can until you are screwed. So make sure this pick is not out of this hole, and now you can screw that on your can, and now screw that there really tight, and now you can pierce your can. You turn it clockwise at the maximum, and now whoopsie, you can open it, so you will allow the Freon to go in the red line that it should be yellow. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna open carefully this valve. Make sure to have some glasses because you can be blind. And just like this, I purge all the air inside of this hose, and this hose is full of Freon. So now I'm gonna start the car at a maximum AC at full blast. So now this valve is open, so the only thing I have to do is to carefully open this valve to let the Freon goes in the system, and you have to reverse the can like this to make the Freon goes out. So you want to open it just a little bit carefully, because you won't hurt the compressor. So I'm gonna put a whole can of this inside of the system, and once you see right there, I'm somewhere around 70, and when the compressor is gonna kick, you're gonna see the pressure goes very low, because just like this the compressor kicks in. So when you see the pressure drop, that means that your AC compressor kicks in, so you should have cold now. Okay, so now my can is empty. Make sure to shake it well, and you can see on the glass right there if you see something. So now I suppose I have 17 ounces of it in the system, so we know that we need 4 more ounces to have the full system. Release the can. Okay, so now this can is empty. I'm gonna remove this part and measure the can to know how it weighs. So we are at 300 grams. So we know that each ounce weighs 8.8 grams in my case. Do your own maths, but for me this is 8.8 grams for 1 ounces of air 134A. So I'm gonna make the maths. So the can weighs 299 grams, and 4 ounces of Freon weighs 35 grams. So now if we do the math, we should weight the can after we throw the Freon should weight 264 grams. So we're gonna throw Freon until we're gonna reach that. So I'm gonna plug back the can just like this. I'm gonna open the valve, and just like this I purge all the air inside of this hose. So I'm just gonna throw 4 ounces. This is not that much. Okay, I'm gonna try to measure it. So close the can, close your blue valve there, and you can disconnect the hose and see how much it weighs. So we are at 286, so just a little bit more. So put back the hose again, open the valve of the can. The red line will be full of Freon. Bleed the air with just like this, and now I can put back more ounces of it. So just like this. So now the can weighs
58 grams, so we are pretty close of what we want, so this is good.
So I got my gauge right there, and we are right at 50 Fahrenheit. So this is really what we want. So this is cold as ice, but sometimes if you add too much Freon, you're gonna have some issue because this system will cut the fan. So you're still gonna have some air, but it's gonna be very, very not hard. The flow will be very low. This is because you got too much Freon. So now it's cold as ice. I know that everything is fine, so I hope this time I don't have any more leaks. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you to know how to fold your system.